1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0.
Hello, my friends. Welcome to Center of Light. That intro is cool. Had some sound bites of drums, and I just configured this in such a way, and it creates this tension. This tension. It brings us into the rabbit hole with all the grit, tenacity, mating titers. Welcome to Center of Light. I'm going to start off by falling inside. And intending the spirit of a particular individual of which this presentation is about, in the name of love, one more in the name of love. I'm invoking, I'm intending, I'm supplicating, begging, literally, asking, beseeching, wanting. For that presence to be here with me tonight, and all of us. I have no doubt I'm going to be emotional tonight. And I'm okay with that. It brings me lots of joy. To purge, feel, be human. Tonight's presentation is in the name of love. This was inspired by someone who made a post today on Facebook. I love Facebook. I love Facebook. Stop complaining. If you're complaining and you're on Facebook, you have a moot point. In the name of love, quit it. Use it or don't. I love it. And because of which, I was able to focus and see something not only beautiful, but magnanimously beautiful. Something that we know about. We respect it when it's due, when it's time, that time of year. Well, right now is that time of year. I saw that post and it reduced me to tears. In a beautiful way. Nonetheless, it did. Welcome to Center of Light, first order of business. Nori, beautiful loves in the house. Nori and I, really soon, are going to be doing a retreat. Forgiveness, freedom, 4-hour retreat. That's going to be May 19th, 4 o'clock Central, 5 o'clock Eastern. It's going to last 4 hours. Contact myself, Nori, if you would, please, beautiful girl. Drop that link to your email with a few instructions or whatever you feel they need in this room about you and I's playing in the garden, healing people, people healing us. It's a two-way dance. so people can contact us, you, to be a part of this magnificent event. Healing the forgivenesses in you, or healing the being upset about what someone did to you, will take miles off of your journey. Miles off of your journey. I want to say hi to everyone. Nori, Kelly, Sana. I will get you everyone's comments and questions. Dana, Heather, Rena, Chris, John, Nicole, Paris, Lynn Marie, Karen, Renando. I just love it. She's probably, okay, Keith, I had enough of that. Quit it. Renando. It makes me feel like I'm trying my best to be Spanish. Carsa Ann, Kristen Davis. Patsy, what's up, bro? Diana. Renee Cockwell, Timothy, Darnell, Melissa, Leah, Steve Ray. Steve, if you're still here, please send me an exclamation point as soon as possible. I want to tell you guys a story about this cray-cray man. Steve, if you're still here, send me an exclamation point. Sana, Diane, Steve Ray, Lee. I want to tell y'all this story. Holly Borland, hi girl. Carl J. Laparo in the house. Steve, if you're still here, bro, send me that exclamation point. Well, he might. Let me see. Let me go look. This is an amazing story. Steve came in. Steve checked out. I'm going to tell you the story anyway. So I'm coming back from Little Rock, Arkansas. 4 in the afternoon. About 30 miles from Memphis, right? And I'm on an open stretch of road, big two-lane highway. So I'm doing 65, 70, cruising down the highway, jamming to some Floyd or some Rush or whatever. And so someone's pulling next to me in a higher up vehicle, like a Suburban. So I'm cruising. And this crazy son of a bitch has a shotgun out of his window pointed at me. I pooped my pants-ish. And when I saw that it was him, the relief that came over me. But Steve's a good boy. He was just jacking around. Hello, Barbara Brown. Hello, Darlene, Krista Huggins. Steve, I'm going to get you back one day. So tonight's presentation is In the Name of Love. I didn't put the subtitle, but it's One More in the Name of Love, the YouTube song. All about some Martin Luther Kingage. What's up, Nathan McNeil? Yeah, it's pretty scary, Carolyn. All right. September 21st and 22nd, Memphis, Tennessee, Agra Center. 4 Point Spiritual Expo. Vending booths, healers, crystals, gemstones, art photography, possibly. If it is, oh my God, I am in like Flynn. Speakers, readers. I'm going to be a keynote speaker. Dr. Rita Louise is going to be a keynote speaker. Larry Flaxman is going to be a keynote speaker. I keep leaving this lady out, and she deserves her due. Please give me her name. It's not there. I don't know why. Forgive me. She is the guru on organic food. Preventative healing. It's like your insurance, but it's preventative insurance is what it is. September 21st or 22nd. Road trip. Come see me. Hang out. Get here night before. I play music all the time. Come hang out with me. Let's have some knuckleheaded fun. Go shopping for some brownies. Come hang out with me. Get up, maybe go do some breakfast. $20 for 2 days, $15 for a single day. Why not purchase the $20 ticket? I think my speaking presentation is going to be at 12 noon on Saturday. Radical transformation, crossing the bridge to the soul. I am going to kick you in your pants. Keith, that sounds pretty egoistic. I'm going to kick you into your pants. If I can reach you and grab you and touch you, I'm going to kick you in your pants in a good way. And we're going to dance. September 21st and 22nd, 4 Point Spiritual Expo in Memphis, Tennessee. You can like and follow at Circle of Chi. That's Circle of QI to stay informed about new editions, workshop announcements, and more. I am a soul of light here on this earth to use my God-given abilities for global unity. And God damn it, that's what we're going to be talking about in a very big way. From a very small seed, the faith of a mustard seed this man had, and his dream and his vision has exponentiated and expanded. And pretty much everyone who is alive on this planet today knows of Martin Luther King. That's what you call an explosion of light. Center of Light Federation. This presentation is never, ever to offend anyone but to awaken. Lots of people are scared. They won't tell you that they are, but they are. That is the purpose of my work, is to empower. Take a short pause. We're going to get right back down to business. Kim Gary, Yanava. Small pause. I have a huge presentation. I've also invited, at least in my conscious awareness, and more than my conscious awareness, that would include my feeling base of the presence of Dr. King. I'm serious about what I do. I'm very passionate and sincere. And I make myself humble and vulnerable so there's a place for such a spirit and beautiful one can ever enter. This is my intention. To bring about healing. Globally. Peacefully. It is my life's work.
Surely as the rain may fall, I wonder why. Worried there'll come a time when my world is dry, oh so dry. In the summertime I won't have no water. A little bit harder to take. As I contemplate a billion stars, leaving my hands to fate, that's all I've got, all I've got. In the summertime I won't have no water. It's a little bit
Welcome to Center of Light, Yana Weitz here. I'm going to predict something, and I hope I'm incorrect. I bought a brand new camera, sold my other camera, but it did it again last night. My screen went dark exactly 9 o'clock, as if it was a blue light filter. I could demonstrate, I ain't going to do that. Anyway, I reset my TV, had to reconfigure all my... 9 o'clock, if my screen goes dark, I'm going to contact Hisense TV again. Hopefully that's the end of it, though. But the camera looks really good. It's nice and sparkly and bright and crisp. Tonight, we're going to be talking, sharing on levels we don't even know we're communicating. Why we are all here in the first place. Why are you here? Why do you think you're here? Is it entertainment? I'm cool with that. I don't have a problem with that. Nothing else to do, you're bored. I don't have a problem with that. This man has affected you. It's ingrained in your consciousness. What he stood for. Black, white, green, yellow. It's all irrelevant. But what is relevant about his blackness is the times that he lived in the blackness, meaning the darkness of a darker period of our world and human consciousness. He had the faith of a mustard seed. That's not correct. He was the mustard seed with all the faith it needed to plant that seed so it can grow, germinate, and grow and spread into the trees of life. You, I, and everyone that's watching now and in the future. Here. We've all sprouted. We understand the message. We all understand the call. So what is the call? It's not his birthday. It's not his anniversary of his death. But I am declaring today, at least in this moment, a celebration of his life. You will see me get emotional, probably. Go get your Kleenex, because like a yawn, if I get to going, you're gonna get to going, and we're gonna go together. I don't know why, and I don't have to know why. I just know it brings me pain and joy at the same time. And the pain and the joy are two sides of the same coin. And they're both cool because they're both just raw energy. Pain, but pain. Take the pain away and you're left with raw energy. Now it becomes potential energy. So between the pleasure, the joy, and the pain, there is a third something. It's another dimension. You got a two-dimensional plane, a flat plane, three-dimension. Add space to it. So now you have a third dimension. Space. We're going to live in that space, which is, you guessed it, spirit. So in that spirit is where this beautiful soul, probably no longer as a soul, now merged into the divine ocean as the ocean because of the grace that he has shed and now has received. We're going to be talking about the life of Martin Luther King. Not the life he lived, the life that still lives. I am so connected on a level I don't understand, as I told you, and I don't have to know why, with the initiative and a bringer of peace. I'm addicted to the idea. It's integrated and infused with my life. Empowerment for people is actually a part of my ministry, my work. But all of that is included under the umbrella of peace. Because under peace means you got your shit together. You're balanced, you're whole. And of course, all you want is peace, not for yourself because you are that now. You have no choice but expressing it. I think we understand each other. Let's look at the room before we get down to the presentation. Linda Chaplin Westbrook over here. Hey, Linda. Kim Gary loves that song. Renee Cockwell says very powerful, beautiful, awesomeness. Carmen de Shasha is in the how. She's always about some love nuggets. Tonight is going to be in the name of love. Nuggets. How you like that, Shasha? I just channeled that. In the name of love nuggets. There's going to be lots of love nuggets coming through. You can bet on that. All right, let's get down to the actual presentation. Thank you very much for your patience. I've had some people in the past tell me, Keith, why don't you get right down to business? Well, that's your idea of what business is. I like being in my space. Thank you for joining me in it as I with you. I'm not in a hurry. I don't conform to the system. I understand the protocol of how the system works, and sometimes, because we live on the earth, you got to do things a certain way. I get that. I ain't there yet. I'm still playing around and unfolding like a flower about the work I am so passionate about. I will get it. Let's get down to the presentation. Everyone, this presentation is not going to go cray-cray. You please, I'm going to say it directly. Take it how you like. You should be sharing this to your wall, no matter who you are. I won't go out of the box cray-cray. You should be sharing this to your wall, no matter who you are. I'm doing my part. Perspective. This is very integral to this entire presentation. Teresa Morgan, Mary Amalung. Perspective. Everyone should take the research journey upon themselves of any and all necessary to anchor the light of unity, expanding humanity. It is crucial. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this presentation. It is crucial to question everything in today's world. There is a larger agenda at work, and our inquiry must be diligent. I have followed many rabbits into many holes, and more often than not, all I have ended up with was a handful of disgusting rabbit shit. There comes a time when what we were and are still being taught, programmed, TV has programs, needs to have a pulled back perspective. In doing so, we can honestly see both polarities at work. When one develops true sight, then one can have a powerful impact for the highest good. These are not only my findings in my ongoing blissful research for the absolute truth. They are also my experience with divine avatars, God realized men, alive today, like Jesus, like Buddha. You don't have to believe me. You don't have to like it. The truth does not require your permission to exist. The time for you to engage with at least one of the reasons you were incarnated into this life is what is coming through this platform and through this vessel tonight from Spirit. Do you hear it? Do you give a shit? I do. So I'm looking at my Facebook wall today, and Dana Trotter decides to post something. And it sounds a little something like this. The words we post can be more dangerous than any weapon. Hate pours from the tongue. When you criticize or belittle someone's religious or political beliefs that do not agree with your own, you spread hate. When you stereotype someone's race or occupation, you spread hate. When you judge who people should love, you spread hate. When you gain satisfaction from these things, you are hate. Hate ends with you. Anonymous. Let me see who's in the room. Kim Delaney says, my heart is open. My wings fly me high. I am free. My third eye is the receiver of the divine. Wow. Baba said, be like Jesus. Carmen says, you got this, Keith. Oh, I got it. I am not scared to cry in front of 8 billion plus people on this planet. But thank you for your loving support, the Shah. Mary says, wow, I'm going to give her a Facebook wow poke back. Let's continue to move forward. I have a big presentation. I'm going to take a break here shortly. Everybody get some popcorn, get you some cheese whiz, some crackers, whatever you need. I'm going to be here for a while. I'm going to do this. It's due. I will. I am. What I am now going to move forward with is a picture of what I think. Doesn't matter what I fucking think. I know this man should be deemed a saint. Doesn't have to be in Catholicism. He is a saint. He is a Sadguru, an earthly saint. Still is. Though he's not physically on the planet. His energy is not only planted, it's planted forever more. Let me read you something. And then I will read you the commentary, a quote from Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King, quote, if one is truly devoted to the religion of Jesus, that person will seek to rid the earth of social evils. The gospel is social as well as personal. What he is saying is if you define yourself as a Christian and you buck that current, you are a hypocrite. Lays it out plain and simple without ever telling you that. That's how elegant and poetic and on point and reading between the lines and the information that was never divulged came out of his mouth, out of his heart, via his consciousness and his space inside of unity. From the band U2, Pride. This is why I named this presentation In the Name of Love. Let me do this a little more appropriate. And deserving. One man come in the name of love. One man come and go. One man come he to justify. One man to overthrow. In the name of love. What more in the name of love? In the name of love, what more in the name of love? One man caught on a barbed wire fence. One man he resist. One man washed on an empty beach. One man betrayed with a kiss. In the name of love, what more? One more in the name of love. Early morning, April 4, shot rings out in the Memphis sky. Free at last, they took your life, but they could not take your pride. I live literally. If I was to drive in a straight line to the Civil Rights Center, it would be 2 minutes. Martin Luther King. I'm going to save that. Not because it's a cliffhanger. It's because it's not time. Take a short pause. Very short pause. Going to be right back. Get down into some videos of Martin Luther King. You've seen the videos, but you didn't see it, quote, in this light because of the presentation and you being here tonight. And we're all inviting that space of true unity and brotherhood. He died for it. He lived for it. But the fruit was left on the vine to die. It was never picked at that time. Now it's time. Going to be right back.
I will be with you always until the end of time. You will never be alone. I am.
I feel you there beside me. All of my life, all through my days, I've seen places far away. Wondering just where, time and again, I have come to know you. Wondering just where, time and again, you are there beside me. When I create, when I feel love, whenever I feel you with me, I celebrate times of my life. There is only you and me. Help me know that
It is my will that you know me. I will not hide my love from you. You create your reality and every moment by your own perceptions, your judgments, actions. Peace is a state of mind. Bliss is a state of heart. Heaven is a state of being.
deep in my heart, I know you're there. I can always feel you guiding my life to see the light that will lead me to the truth. When I create, when I feel love, whenever I feel you with me, I celebrate times of my life.
Welcome back to Center of Light, all my Yanavites. We're going to count this down now. We got 15, 17 minutes to see if my TV goes orange, my screen goes orange. Welcome, everyone. I hope you did share this to your wall. Tonight we're talking about a very special soul, beacon of light, came into the planet by the name of Martin Luther King, in the name of love. This person, Martin Luther King, again, I'm going to save that. It wants to come off of my tongue. This is how important this is to me, even on a level I don't understand. When I went to the restroom for this break, something came to me from the divine principle that I would like to read. Spirit and I having a dialogue. Spirit starts off, as you may have noticed, many things are also going on in the political arena. True leaders are rising and making changes, while deceitful leaders are falling fast and hard. And I say to God, what are your thoughts about our voting process? Understand that if someone in power leads by using manipulation and untruths, she is treading on thin ice. When you vote for that leader, you are skating on the same thin ice. I am aware that you have blindly elected some into office only to be shocked at what they have done or not done after their seat of power became a comfortable one. This is why I continue to expose your leaders' ill-advised agendas so that you can get the bad ones out and thus avoid the karma you would be destined for if they remained in power. Know that I do support the notion of leadership, but what I have seen thus far, the track records of many of those whom you have elected have been poor. Yes, there have been moments in history when true leaders have appeared, but just as they were on their way to making positive changes, they were assassinated, leaving their visions to die on the vine. My question to all of you is, will you continue to follow leaders who care only about themselves, or will you accept leadership from the one who cares only about the welfare of humanity? And I said, please tell me how we can make this happen. 3 things. First, do not allow what has been taking place to continue! Exclamation point. It is your divine birthright to rise up against any leadership if it does not set you on a course towards a transcendent consciousness. This may sound like I am supporting rebellion, but that is not entirely true, because I do not support upheaval and anarchy, but I do support you're doing whatever it takes to uproot any and all weeds that could stifle the potential of your Eden garden. Second, when you seek leaders, make certain they have a divine calling and are not someone you vote for just because they seem to be the best ones running. Unlike the leaders of your present system, divine leaders will not even hint to you that they are the ones in charge. They will govern righteously and be of service to all. Third, make certain your chosen leaders have a direct connection to the divine, so that in any situation, as Martin Luther King, I will exemplify or show you in a moment, so that in any situation, they can move to the good by praying to God, what do I do? If you are not choosing leaders with these qualifications, Why do you even bother to vote? Spanking, isn't it? For all of us. I want to show you that image. When Martin Luther King and his beautiful tribe of dark-skinned people, even some white people, were trying to cross that bridge in Selma, and they were browbeat. They were not browbeat. They were getting beaten to try to cross that bridge. After a period of time, Martin Luther King, being the man he is, fervently praying to God, what do I do? I know that this bridge is not important, but it's a metaphor for something that is important. And so the day that he was going to cross the bridge, and the system actually let him do it. They let him. Finally, his voice was heard. You can now cross. We're not going to mess with you. You can now cross. He dropped to his knee. And said, like I just read, third, make certain your chosen leaders have a direct connection to the divine so that in any situation they could move, drop to the knee, to the good by praying to God, what do I do? If you buck that system of what was just passionately, lovingly, sincerely explained to you, you are an idiot. Ooh, that sounds detrimental, doesn't it? It sounds judgmental. Look it up in a dictionary. There is a word in the dictionary called idiot or fool. If you fit unto that, you're the poster child. Don't blame me for identifying with something that you know that is so nonsensical, it breeds hate inside of yourself. It destroys you, and it destroys everything that you even think is ever important. It's pretty easy. And so when he dropped to his knee, even though the pathway was clear, guess what he did or didn't do? He no longer had a desire to cross the bridge because the battle was won. He didn't have to shove it in anybody's face to cross the bridge to say, I'm your cat. He dropped to his knee. He heard his guidance. Don't cross the bridge. It's no longer necessary. Right. Let's look at the room before we get into the Martin Luther King videos. Steve Cobb, bro, ham sandwich. Diane says, thank you. Sweetheart, thank you. Sana says me 3 hearts. Kim Delaney says, rebellion is good for your own soul. Heart. Namaskar, heart. What is right for your good? Society corrupt. All those beautiful things we love. She's responding. She's chiming in. She's plugging in. Are you plugging in with me? I'm sure you are. You wouldn't be here if you weren't. How about we plug in even further? Invoke the spirit of Dr. King, just lovingly. This is not some charlatan parlor trick and some black magic and a Ouija board shit. If you don't know me by now, whatever. I'm just intending to be connected to something beautiful. A beautiful idea even. That's enough. So now we're going to get down to the videos. And the one thing I've been wanting to share, have been holding off. Hello, Carolyn Brasher. But I can't wait to get to. My hands are ringing. I'm sweating. I'm drooling. I'm looking. I have a schedule an itinerary, a format, a template. I don't have to follow it, but I'm trying to create a timeline of things. So now we're going to get into. Everybody's feeling good, right? I feel good. I'm enjoying this presentation. It's light, it's airy, it's fairy, it's fluffy, cool. That's cool. Let's get involved. Let's engage into the spirit of this beautiful, illumined man. He wasn't just a preacher. No preacher is just a preacher. He was special. But I want to first start off. We're going to get into Big Daddy shortly. So these are going to be lots of videos, lots for 4 minutes per thing. They're all important and integral if you're here to be a part of this presentation. I understand life happens. You may have to work tomorrow. I get all that. But if you're going to be here, there's an order in which I do things. I don't just want to jack around. I want to create an opening of a flower. He is the flower. He is the lotus flower for the evening, the rock star. So we have a 6-minute countdown if my screen is going to go dark. Until then, enjoy this first video about Martin Luther King that so describes the dialogue I read from the Divine Principle about seats of power using any diversion, any distraction, anything they can say. Not everyone. There are many people in the seats of power and political arena who are truly there to make a difference. And this is not even bucking the current of those who are guilty of what I am describing. I am just presenting something that you can see when someone of a darker, to use a word, nature is presented by someone in the place of the light. It grabbed my heart. It showed me that humanity is not only has a chance, we came here for a reason, to be successful. First video right here. By Pastor Reverend Barber. Check Big Daddy out.
I wonder what Dr. King would think about where we are today. And I think that he would think that there has been much progress made, but he would think that we have a long way to go. And that is what I believe as well.
Politicians can't say they love Dr. King and how he stood for love and unity, but then you deny and refuse to support his agenda. Right, Governor? I mean, since you came, right, Congressman? So let me show you what I mean, Governor. Dr. King would not have been for a wall. And the hurting, how many of y'all are not against a wall? Everybody here that's not against the wall, politician, everybody, and will tell Donald Trump, you don't need to be building a wall to separate people. We need to be spending money to give people health care. Stand on your feet. Now, anybody that doesn't stand on your feet, you get the seat. Wait a minute. How many folk in here believe, like Dr. King, that everybody ought to have what Teddy Roosevelt, a Republican, asked for 100 years ago, and that's health care for every citizen? Everybody believes that. Stand up. Now, if you can't stand up for that, then don't say you love Dr. King. Governor, what's your last name? Lee. No, that ain't no, that's not no Navajo name. That's like Barber. Even though I'm mixed with it, that comes out of England. So how is it that a whole bunch of folk that are nothing but immigrants themselves now want to pass some laws that if those laws were in place in the 1920s, their own great-grandmamas wouldn't have been able to come here? I'm just saying, I'm too old to play now.
Welcome back to Center of Light. Good to see you. So now, what you have just watched, experienced, is called a baseline. There is a baseline that has been drawn. We have the truth, people who are in the truth, and people who squabble and manipulate and use ideas and factions and fractions and whatever they can to fudge and skirt the system to get you to vote for seats of power. What is true power? When's the last time you really looked within yourself wholeheartedly? I'm not saying you don't. Turn up the fire. Turn up the divine fire. Live in it. This man that presentation is about tonight, in the name of love, what more in the name of love? Martin Luther King lived in that fire. Continue with the presentation. Now we're going to get down into the life of this divine. He deserves the title. He's a divine man, a divine soul. And how do I know it's divine? Because it will last forever. His life will forever be told. There's nothing you can do about it. You can't change it. This is the son of Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King III. Check him out. Big Daddy's on fire.
On August 28th, 1963, over 250,000 people, idealists, gathered to hear my father's speech. It was about a dream where everyone was guaranteed the right of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. A world where everyone was free. His audience traveled far to be there. Rich, poor, old, young, black, white, all united in their desire to be relieved of the challenges of that day, that they needed to take action for change to occur. Now, their presence and strengthening was what brought my father's dream to life. You see, my father was a great leader, but his mission outstretched his lifetime. And it takes a movement to create change. An idea through a dream can be a start of a movement of change that transcends time. Today, you are here because you know that every action counts. You are here because through programs like We Schools, you have the confidence to use your voice in the name of change. And you are here because you share the belief that every single one of you has the power to make a difference in this world. Now, this belief we must awaken in others to keep the dream of a better world alive, just like those who marched in 1963 did. Their time was one diseased by discrimination. You've heard their stories, like the story of Rosa Parks to give up her seat on a bus, the Greensboro sit-ins, the Freedom Rides, the Selma and Montgomery marches. Their small victories for justice that should have been theirs. They were the spirits who planted the seeds of revolution. My father's movement believed not just of a nation, but also of a world where we live out the creed that all people are created equal. But this work is still not complete. The movement they began defined their generation. We Day may be the movement that will define yours. All of us today, It is a call to action, a reminder that we need to continue their work. We didn't find out what we are capable of. We can't find out what we're capable of until we're in our comfort zones. But when we are faced with conflict and challenge, we must take a stand because we understand that a better world is possible. Now, I'm here today to be at your side as you continue to make a difference. I join you in dreaming of a world without poverty, oppression, and neglect, where everyone gets an education, where all injustice is treated with the same intolerance, as if it were happening on our own doorsteps. Let's not only dream together, let's work together. Let us look forward to the future as we stand together because our potential is limitless. Today, America is in need of healing. What better way to promote peace and bring people together than to realign with the youth experience in our country? Imagine a future where kids collaborate on solutions and community service projects, where neighbors open their doors to one another and work together to better their communities, where rights and safeties are guaranteed to all. It's inspiring to see your energy fill this room today. This is your time to take your place in history. You've already began this by being here today. My father said that faith is not taking the first step when you cannot see the whole staircase. Give yourselves a round of applause for having taken this first step. Thank you, and may God continue to bless each and every one of you always.
So my screen went dark. Let's try this light. No, I look like I got a serious suntan. I am calling Hisense TV tomorrow, so let me do a couple adjustments real quick. Just so it brightens it up. Got to brighten up your day. That's terrible. How terrible. We'll go with that. Whatever. So what this beautiful gentleman had just laid out, and I'm sure you heard it, what he has said, oh my God, my nose is so shiny. He said that squabbling about certain religions, who's right, who's wrong, it's nonsense. When you try to associate a culture of people to a radical religion, you're being a fool and you're being an idiot. Stop being an idiot. Be like John Doe, the simple guy, the simpleton. You can bet in those religions that you call terrorists that there are families who want peace, love, support, to live long lives, to have children, to see their children have children if they're so lucky to live that long, provided that someone is not flying over their territory and dropping fucking bombs and killing everybody because of this bullshit. And I mean with all love. It's terrible. It's not necessary. We need to educate the ignorant. Some people don't want any part of that program. They don't. Because they don't understand it. They don't vibrate, love, have compassion as high as others. So what do we do with that? Do we eradicate them and judge them? No. Because you become a hate monger yourself. You just bless. move on. You just bless and move on. They will use the they would be those who are not easy on themselves to understand such leverage and power by the diversity of humanity. Continue with the presentation and the videos. Early Martin Luther King. Check him out.
This is the most important and crucial period of your lives, for what you do now and what you decide now at this age may well determine which way your life shall go. And the question is whether you have a proper, a solid, and a sound blueprint. And I want to suggest some of the things that should be in your life's blueprint. Number one in your life's blueprint should be a deep belief in your own dignity, your own worth, and your own somebodyness. Don't allow anybody to make you feel that you are nobody. Always feel that you count. Always feel that you have worth. And always feel that your life has ultimate significance. Secondly, in your life's blueprint, you must have, as a basic principle, the determination to achieve excellence in your various fields of endeavor. You're going to be deciding as the days and the years unfold. This is the most important and crucial.
I have the pleasure to present to you Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr.
I am happy to join with you today in what will go down in history as the greatest demonstration for freedom in the history of our nation. Five score years ago, a great American in whose symbolic shadow we stand today signed the Emancipation Proclamation. This momentous decree came as a great beacon light of hope to millions of Negro slaves who had been seared in the flames of withering injustice. It came as a joyous daybreak to end the long night of their captivity. But 100 years later, the Negro still is not free. There are those who are asking the devotees of civil rights, when will you be satisfied? We can never be satisfied as long as the Negro is the victim of the unspeakable horrors of police brutality. We can never be satisfied as long as our children are stripped of their selfhood and robbed of their dignity by signs stating for whites only. No, we are not satisfied, and we will not be satisfied until justice rolls down like waters and righteousness like a mighty stream. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream that one day, even the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with the heat of injustice, sweltering with the heat of oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today.
Somewhere I read of the freedom of assembly. Somewhere I read of the freedom of speech. Somewhere I read of the freedom of press. Somewhere I read that the greatness of America is the right to protest far right. And so just as I say we aren't going to let any dogs or water hoses turn us around, we aren't going to let any injunction turn us around. Well, I don't know what will happen now. We've got some difficult days ahead. But it really doesn't matter with me now, because I've been to the mountaintop. Like anybody, I would like to live a long life. Longevity has its place. But I'm not concerned about that now. I just want to do God's will. And He's allowed me to go up to the mountain. And I've looked over and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. So I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord.
He knew that night he was going to die. That's why I posted the comment in the forum. Listen to what he's saying. I might not get there with you. I have seen the promised land. Not only did he know he was going to die that night, why would he tell anyone? Because he had dignity. I may not get there with you. I love the idea of longevity. It's not in my cards. Swallow that. But he's seen the promised land. He also had a vision, knowing that he was the mustard seed that was to be planted like the Christ. The Christ was a mustard seed that was planted on this earth to bring about the salvation of humanity. How is Martin Luther King any different than bringing about the salvation and the unity of humanity? If you don't understand that, you just simply don't understand that. And everything that you do or don't do that bucks that current, you are part of the problem of the human race accelerating, expanding into a global unity. So at least what you can do, if you're one that recognizes that you're part of the problem, until you heal, balance, and right yourself, maybe the best thing you can do is shh. Just be silent. until you have something to say, something to will forth, something to create, something to express, more hopefully be, that deserves the attention you're giving to everyone else that is spreading hate. Now what? Now what? What do you do with that? Why is so much responsibility falling into my lap? I did a presentation last night called You're Sitting in the Lap of God. So what do you do with the power that I'm divulging, sharing with you, that is part of your responsibility? Now that you heard me say this, you can't undo it. You're now responsible. Part of your responsibility to engage and become a part of the flourishing of the seed that was planted all those years ago. What you do is stop talking and stop spreading your ignorance and your hate. Because whether you like it or not, it does not even work toward your own agenda. Cancer devours itself. Hate devours itself. Evil devours itself. And if you don't right yourself, balance yourself, and the very thing you profess to follow and believe in will devour you. Not into non-existence, but into an existence you truly wish you were privy to long time ago so you could be with that program. Because it will create such a karmic backlash on you. And all love, God's grace will befall you. Do you want that? It's okay. You're just not congruent nor aligned with the truth that will set you free. But you don't understand. Muslims are supposed to be the religion of peace, but look what they're doing. You don't understand. You are qualifying terrorism using the guise of any said peaceful religion for their own selfish agenda, just like any country that drops bombs on people. You can't separate yourself from the truth. You may not like it, and it does not need your permission to exist. So why not exist in the truth that you've been ignorant of, and now that you are learning about, that could bring you bliss from all the things you've ever missed? This is what I'm offering to you. You don't have to like. No one likes the terrorism. That is not what I'm saying. I am not saying don't stand up for terrorism. Much of terrorism is internal terrorism, not external terrorism. So stop being a part of the terror yourself by spreading that hate. You can bet Muslims, Islams, Buddhists, Christians, everyone worldwide across the board alike want family, unity, world peace. So don't have the audacity to clump these beautiful souls of humanity into the cesspool of shit. If you do, guess where you submerge yourself? Understand what's happening. Understand what it is. Understand your place in the universe, the one verse song. Understand your place in the one song which has many lyrics, many creeds, many codes, many sects, many denominations. It's diverse. If you don't see that diversity, and if you think erecting a wall is going to stop your fear, you are sadly mistaken. Because the wall is not outside of you that you are erecting. The wall you are erecting is within yourself, keeping you at bay from world peace, global unity, as to why you constantly complain about the problem which belongs to no one but you. You buck that current, the universe has a little more power and will succeed in global unity. The choice becomes simply yours. Do you want a part of that action or not? Be right back.
I will be with you always, until the end of time. You will never be alone. I am.
All of my life, all of my days, I feel you there beside me. All of my life, all through my days, I've seen places far away. Wondering just when, time and again, I have come to know you. Wondering just when, time and again, you are there beside me. When I create, when I feel love, whenever I feel you with me, I celebrate times of my life. There is only you and me. Help me know that.
It is my will that you know me. I will not hide my love from you. You create your reality, and every moment by your own perceptions, your judgments, actions. Peace is a state of mind. Bliss is a state of heart. Heaven is a state of being.
Deep in my heart, I know you're there. I can always feel you guiding my life to see the light that will lead me to the truth. When I create, when I feel love, whenever I feel you with me, I celebrate times of my life. There is only you and me. For you are my mother, my divine lover. I celebrate times of my life. There is only you and me. Help me live.
So welcome back, guys. So what I am offering is the beginning of the presentation tonight. I did say that I was going to invoke the spirit of Dr. King. I didn't use an Ouija board. I didn't do any incantations. I didn't do any of that stuff. I just opened my heart to say and said to the invisible one that we know as Martin Luther King Jr., fill my space, fill my consciousness, use my words. Let me feel your grace. All those wonderful things to create a special place of saying, dear Lord, come sit inside of me and let me know you a little more. And because of this presentation tonight, I do. And I have the utmost reverence and respect for this person who knew he knew in his final speech, I've been to the mountaintop. I have seen the kingdom. I may not be with you, but I'm not concerned about that now. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. What courage and bravery. He knew he was going to die. He knew he was going to die that night. He wouldn't tell anyone because he had dignity and integrity. He was a man of spirit. So what I am going to do now, as I invited the spirit of Dr. King into me, doesn't mean it's Dr. King per se, but it will have a Dr. King flavor because of my intention to open up and invite him into my experience to share with you more of his vision. How do I know that's true and correct? Because I care. All my children, brothers and sisters of all denominations of every creed, as we intend to move out of the greed of the corporations, I make myself known as MLK, Martin Luther King. And with such a zing, we're going to move into higher levels of the grace that has been bestowed upon me when I reached the mountain top. I was a seed that was planted, and granted, it is now yours to do what you like. Hopefully, that you water it and expand it and allow it to germinate, blossom, and grow and drop other seeds. All of you are in need of the planting of other trees that I have brought forth, of this unifying power called global peace and humanity. It's not about the insanity that you have been accustomed to. And it's hard to shake. And he comes through now with his mannerisms and his power and his passion. And it's hard to shake. Make no mistake. Then all the subtleties that you use, my brethren, you make changes. Changes afoot. I have seen the glory. I have reached the mountain top. I knew I was going to pass that evening. How did I know? Because I have seen the mountaintop and had a vision not only of myself, but for you as well, my brethren. Wow. The energy that is moving in my body right now is phenomenal. It's purple, it's graceful, it's loving. It's like a feather, it's like a dove. In the name of love. I want to just sit here and dwell in this space. And I think I will for a moment. Like any human being, throughout my entire ministry, I was afraid. I wanted longevity that I deserved like everyone, but it was not part of the plan because it created a greater burst of light in my exiting, and I had no problem with that because I was always about carrying out the will of my Father. So my ministry was never really about me, nor is yours about you. Pass that torch around and see what happens. I was afraid throughout my entire ministry until I went to the mountaintop. Because in my final speech, I knew I was going to die that night. I knew, and I knew. And I had so much peace surrounding it as to why I divulged it publicly, declaring, I may not be with you versus I won't be with you. You didn't deserve such a blow. So I spared you from it.
She turned to me and told me life was not too easy unless you can let go. I lay surprised at the simpleness of her soul. Wasting away in a sea of uncertainty. She had stayed with me for days. I needed love in so many different ways. And as I watched, she floated through the room. And as I cried, she was there to dry them too. Hold me and don't let go. Hold me. Never leave. Never leave. Angel of love, will you always be with me so I can let go? Reveal to me the beauty of your soul. I turned away, her light was so blinding, the energy of her love. She said goodbye and turned into to adore. As I watched, she floated through the room. And as I cried, she was there.